Great day from Washington, D.C. I'm Tony Donaldson Jr., and welcome to this special live election night coverage of what will go down in history as one of the most consequential and contentious campaigns in our lifetime. Before this morning even hit, more than 100 million Americans had already cast their vote. So, in truth, the entire election may very well already be determined. And yet, still, millions of Americans fled to the polls this morning and all throughout today. And we are here to bring you live election coverage as we watch these results come in. For the last 10 weeks, we've been gathered at the desk to follow the headlines and follow the trending topics in the wake of this unprecedented campaign, all the while following a global pandemic that has rocked and shook our entire lives and a heated debate over a racial reckoning happening all across the country. And it all comes down to this. This one night in America will determine where we go as a country and where we go together. So we're excited to bring you this live coverage because this is what democracy looks like. I'll be joined by our incredible team of contributors who will be. Okay, give us 1 second. We're going to go to a break and then come right back. Someone said, was anybody on the live stream? No? Okay. We may have to read the break.
I hear a team of contributors.
Interesting.
You clip yourself on the live. So yeah, I'm not sure who said that, but I could.
Great day and welcome back. Sorry about those technical difficulties. We wanted to make sure that we had everything clear and that you all could hear everything that we were saying. But we are back, and again, this is what democracy looks like. We are bringing you live election coverage. Watch the results come in and following some of the key races and battleground states happening across the. So we're going to they'll be sticking around all five elections. We're looking for one last one. I think Ryan will join us in a moment. But I'll turn it over to you guys. Let's talk about what is your predictions and expectations and feelings so far in this day, and what are your thoughts around what can happen throughout the rest of tonight? We'll start with you, Cabrina.
Like I understand like the enthusiasm around this. It's an incredible thing. And I feel like it's truly a really historical moment. With me personally, I will admit prior to this, I was skeptical of everything. It's like, how are we able to kind of come together as a country and look towards a brighter future? But yeah, I'm excited to see where the night leads us and ready to get started.
Dwight, what are your predictions around tonight?
So for my predictions, it's a tough call, especially looking at the numbers that we're currently looking at. It's also very stressful. But in terms of a big swing state like Ohio, I would love to say that one would swing towards Biden. Not too hasty to say it though. So just basically hopes are going towards Biden's way.
Definitely. We're going to be following some of those key races. A lot of people have been having their eye on Florida, especially because that is really going to be a determining factor, as well as Pennsylvania, where both of the candidates have been campaigning over the last couple of weeks. So we're in for an eventful night. And both of you have been doing some incredible research to prepare to bring us some great segments a little bit later on. So I'm glad that you all are here. We're going to get in a quick break while we set up for our next interview. Yes, we'll be joined by some young folk who are getting out to vote for the very first time and really excited for this upcoming election. So stick around. We're going to figure out all this tech stuff and make sure that you guys are getting all the coverage that you need, as well as we'll check in at our electoral map to figure out what it's looking like on the road to 270. So stick around. Well, we are going to jump to the electoral map with Ryan to take a look at what things are looking like on the road to 270. We're just going to bring Ryan in now.
Tony, hello.
Hey, how's it going, Ryan?
Going well. Election night is being very exciting, and we're already looking at some big projections coming out from decision desks across America right now.
Sounds good. We're going to get you in here up to beside our big board so that you can walk us through what we are seeing in some of these races. Take it away, Ryan.
All right. So as of right now, the race has always been fluctuating between two parts of America, being the Rust Belt and the Sun Belt, two very distinct parts of America, and two places that have experienced large amounts of demographic and political changes in the last election. As of right now, in the last couple minutes, we've seen projections for Florida to go to Donald Trump, which will change how we look at election night tonight. With Donald Trump winning Florida, our attention now goes directly to the Rust Belt, in particular Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, and Minnesota. With all of those states, three of those states being states that had gone to Donald Trump in 2016 and in routes that Donald Trump hopes to keep in this election cycle. Unfortunate for us right now, we're not exactly sure when these elections will be decided. So it has become increasingly unlikely that the election will be decided tonight. Though we will be able to get some indication of how things are going based off certain in-day decisions in Pennsylvania in particular. Outside of that, the area in which the Democrats are hoping to make some sort of ground are in the other Sunbelt states, Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina being the most notable, and are going to be increasingly important, having Biden lost Florida at this point. What we're going to be looking for in those states, looking at the urban turnout compared to 2016, in hopes that we'll see some sort of mass turnout in the cities, being Atlanta, Charlotte, and Phoenix, and Arizona. At this point, it's really up in the air. This really swings the election, and we're likely to see some excitement in the next hour or so while those results come in.
Certainly. Two of the key states that I've got my eye on tonight are definitely what's happening in South Carolina and in Georgia. They have some pretty contentious Senate races there that Democrats are hoping to flip the race. And while we're pretty far off from 270, do you think that the turnout and the support for the Senate races are going to have rippling impacts on the presidential races as well, or do you think they can go separate ways?
I find it very unlikely that the Senate races will end differently than the presidential election. I do think having these very contentious Senate races increases the excitement. I don't expect people to swing between the candidates as if any person who was voting for Jamie Harrison wasn't voting for Joe Biden, or the same with Lindsey Graham and Donald Trump. I do expect that turnout should impact those elections in the exact same way that they're impacting the general election.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's my instinct and just what we're seeing happening on the campaign trail. It'll just be curious, or I'll just be curious to see what happens at the end of the night once all of the numbers are in. Of course, we're going to be waiting throughout later on in the night to see some numbers from the West Coast begin to come in. And I believe Donald Trump and Joe Biden have definitely had their eye on Nevada, and that's going to be another race that could potentially make or break this election.
Definitely Nevada, a state that hasn't been polled very much, has in general voted for Democrats, but a lot of excitement has popped up in that state in the last 2 weeks, with certain indications show that many of the people who work in and around the casinos may flip to Donald Trump, something that the Democrats are definitely looking to avoid, no matter how the election goes, either to Trump or Biden being able to minimize whatever those results would be.
Definitely. Well, we're going to sneak away real quick, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Dwight Smith, who has an entertainment lifestyle segment for us. And you don't want to miss this exciting night. I hope everywhere across the country, folks are watching as these numbers come in, because, again, we'll keep saying it throughout the coverage. This is what democracy looks like. So stick around, and we'll bring you some more results and reporting in a moment. All right.
Thank you again. Now, when it comes to the voter experience of COVID-19 to the GOP's attempts, as most news outlets will tell you, Joe Biden and other Trump supporters